You are listening to www.integralnaked.org.
I come from Argentina, and I lived there when something very similar to Nazi Germany was happening. So I grew up, I'm Jewish, so I learned how the Jews were in the cattle wagons and the Germans were watching and they didn't do anything and they were the bad guys and all that. And then, well, a lot of bad things started happening in my country. And in 1982, after the military lost the Falklands War and Argentina won it because the government fell after that war against the Brits. I was reading a book at home. It's called The Crazies of Plaza de Mayo, which are the crazy women of Plaza de Mayo. We were the mothers of the people that disappeared. And they would go every Thursday to walk in Plaza de Mayo. Now, I worked 2 blocks away from Plaza de Mayo, so I saw them, I mean, many times. But I'm reading that book, and I couldn't stop reading. I finished at 5 a.m. and had no more tears. I've been crying all the time. One of the bus stops, this shocked me. I went to school, and one of the bus stops was a concentration camp. Literally, it was above ground was the Navy School of Engineering. Below the ground there was a basement, and they killed thousands of people there. I stopped there every day. I mean, I didn't get off the bus, but the bus stopped there. So I found myself in the position of the Germans that were watching the Jews going to the concentration camps and didn't do anything, because I was there. But the truth is, I was reading these books. Where was I when this happened? I was crying and saying, where was I? Because I wasn't here. I mean, I never knew. But the truth is, I sort of knew, but I didn't. And we all sort of knew, but we didn't want to know. And it was a sense of frailty, not just, I can't do anything. It's, I'll be hurt too. Because if these women disappeared too. The women, the mothers, some of them were kidnapped and killed too. And you didn't know, but you knew. So I mean, all that happened. And then I wanted to blow those fuckers out, and I wanted to kill them, and all the military, and all the people, the juntas, and that was really bad. And I found a lot of shame in myself, and at the same time. So that's kind of the story. But I want to now say the heretic thing is that when you hold a radical mystery, it doesn't just have to be the mystery about God all-knowing or God all-powerful, or God all-present. There's another radical mystery that came to me, which was, what does it mean that something is bad? But not like there's no bad in the world, but the mystery of bad comes from a certain perspective always. Like there's a point to life, and I know what the point is, and what doesn't contribute to the point is bad, and what contributes to the point is good. So I start making judgments about who's evil, because those people are evil. However, most people I consider evil are people that would consider me evil. Like my seminars, I tell people funny things. Is there any idiot that thinks just like you? Do you know any idiot that just agrees with you totally? Do you know anybody like that? No. Why not? Well, we call them, most people say they're idiots, that's why they don't think like me. But the opposite is the case. Is they don't think like me, that's why I call them idiots. And it's a radical shift. So when I started thinking, what's bad? And I don't know. Because today, when I look at my life, first I found a lot of forgiveness for the Germans. In the shame of having been there, I lost my hatred for the Germans that had been watching the Jews go to concentration camps. So is that bad? I don't know. Again, it's not explaining it, but it's just what happened to me. And then today, I mean, I'm an economist, and I couldn't continue being an economist. I moved to work with corporations, and what I see is there are concentration camps in the basement. I can't stop seeing them. So I teach people how to be radically accepting of each other, and I go as an economist, a mathematician, and talk about love. And I teach the radical acceptance of another human being. But why do I do that? Well, part of that, and I tell this story too. It's like, I come from a place where I know what lack of respect, where it ends. You don't know where it ends, but I've seen where it ends. And I don't see physical killings, but I see backstabbing, and I see career killings here, where people get taken out, not bodily, but in terms of their public identity. So, was it good? Was it? I don't know. Would I be doing this if that hadn't happened? So that's the other notion of karma is, that very same general which I wanted to kill, in a way, defined my career. Because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be standing here. I wouldn't have met Ken. I wouldn't be meeting you and doing all this. So I want to hold this radical mystery of, what is bad and what is good, and how we can hold the paradox without resolving it in any way.